You know, sometimes we need to remove ourselves from those in our lives who bring us down. If you're going to engage in a new project, you probably don't want to hang out with the people that are going to tell you everything that's going to go wrong and how you'll never amount to anything. You know, I think that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? You know, spiritual principle is very simple. It's not always easy to apply, but these are simple principles, which is why I think we call it the science of mind, not the rocket science of mind. You know, for me, I remember years back in my corporate job, there was a time when we had been taken over by a new company, and the management up at the higher level, they really did not understand our company. And those of us below had a lot of valid reason to complain and just really be frustrated with the way things were going and the pressures we were being put under. And I remember a friend of mine, a colleague, who was also studying to be a practitioner at Agape, that we realized, you know, we really need to not engage in complaining. So we decided we just wouldn't complain at all. That didn't work. We realized, okay, we need to process a little bit. So what we came up with was 5 minutes. So every day when we would meet at lunch, it was like we allowed ourselves 5 minutes of, you know, go ahead, get it out. Let's complain and all of that. And then after that, that was it. We had to stop and we had to talk about maybe some funny things that had happened in the workplace or things that were going on in other parts of our lives. But that just gave us such an uplift to be able to move through that very stressful time, to not just keep harboring on how bad everything was. We needed to engage in a different kind of practice, pull away from that kind of negativity. Another really important component of this story is the part about the pairs of animals and the family that are in the ark together. These are, as I said earlier, all the belief patterns that support us in stepping into the new reality that we would like to step into. You know, in Science of Mind, I think we have a tendency to get into this pattern of thinking that we can think our way out of everything, right? Because we really do emphasize a lot of our own responsibility to take part in our own healing. And it is absolutely vital. If you want to change your life, yes, you have to work on your own consciousness. Other people can't do it for you. But I think, you know, it also is piggybacked on the fact that we live in a culture. We're the pioneer culture, you know. Get out there, go forth, you know, do things on your own, be independent. And there's a part of that that's valuable, but I think we really need to look at the other part, that we're connected to an infinite source and supply of all good, and we're not the only channel through which that source operates. And it is important, I think, for us to be open to receiving the support of the universe by surrounding ourselves with those that support us. You know, one of the many, many spiritual principles that runs through 12-step programs is that people come together to support each other in moving through their process of healing from addictions, and that people get sponsors. You know, when you're not able to see the truth for yourself, you have someone to reach out to know the truth with you. And I think that's really important for us to be open to that, open to receiving, just as we are there to support ourselves. And the last part of this story that I think is important to look at is that last part where Noah sends out the raven and the dove. Before we step back into those life patterns that maybe we've stepped out of for a while, I think we need to sort of test the waters to see, am I really strong enough in consciousness, and to be honest about it, and see how we're doing, if we've embodied the new consciousness in a way that we can move back into some of those patterns that were familiar in the past and be with those people. And, you know, when we really know we're there, then we can just move back in. Those patterns no longer have a hold on us. They no longer pull us like they did in the past, because they really have dissolved.